How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to TheConways, episode 98.
Nearly at 100.
Numbers, nearly at 100.
Nearly there.
Almost. And we're joined by a very special guest today. We are joined by Keith Barry.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me.
There's a better introduction for you here that's written down.
Oh, go on.
I'll read it out. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Well, if it's amazing, definitely read it out.
Yeah.
We are very excited to have a special guest on today's episode ahead of his big gig at the Tree Arena on Saturday, 7th of February. That's very important.
Ooh.
Certainly is.
It's a mentalist, author and brain hacker, Keith Barry.
There you go.
That's better.
Yeah, that was much better.
slightly better.
Yeah.
Sold it better there.
Love that.
Come here, listen, I just want to start off by saying, now this isn't you, right, but Amy loves psychics.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, love it.
She
love
absolutely
it.
loves it.
Yeah.
But
And
you're
I know
not a psychic.
No, but you love the show in the Tree Arena.
I know, yeah.
Because my dad's on tour. Yeah, the crazy thing is my dad's dead.
Right.
So he died like a year. I can laugh
don't know
about it
what
now.
to say, do
but I know it's awkward, right?
yeah.
But my dad died like nearly a year ago now. And on his dying deathbed, he said to me, "Bring me on tour, Keith." I said, "Look, Dad, and you think we know where we're at here?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "No, you idiot. Bring me ashes on tour and mess with their minds." So we agreed that I could do a seance and try and contact him.
Yeah.
But the crazy thing is, he didn't believe in an afterlife. I don't believe anyone can contact the dead, and I don't believe in psychics, but then we do it every night anyway. And he comes through, and messages come through for people, and all kinds of mayhem ensues, and people from the audience.
Yeah.
So even if people out there are skeptical of me, right? Imagine this, that I take somebody at random, completely random from the audience. I hypnotise them, so they're in a hypnotic trance. I give them a piece of chalk and a piece of slate, and then I pick somebody at random from the audience, and the person in trance, I invite my father to enter their body and take control of their hand, and then they give messages to the people from the audience. So in other words, someone from the audience becomes a psychic. Think of it like that, and they do what's called automatic writing, and messages come through. So you'd love the show.
Oh, I love
only
all
one
that.
part of
I
it, by the
actually
way.
went to see you years ago.
Oh yeah, where was
Yeah,
that?
I don't know.
Vicar Street, probably.
Probably, yeah.
She said, I went to see Keith years ago, and I was like, I should talk about it to him. And I was like, where was it? When was it? And she's like, I can't remember.
Yeah, but I know I went to see you. I know I did.
Must be loads of drink involved then if you can't
I
remember.
think so, yeah.
Was
I
it
think
Vicar
so.
Street?
Probably, yeah.
Probably Vicar Street, yeah. If it was a good while ago.
But it's a Tree Arena now.
Tree Arena, yeah, that'll be the biggest show I've ever done. So touring all over Ireland at the moment.
That'd be amazing.
Did I hear a rumour that this is your last show ever?
I was talking about it, the fact that it was potentially my last tour ever, right? Because I've been at it over 25 years now, and I'm at that stage where it's really hard for me to juggle the public work with the corporate work. So I'm doing a huge amount of corporate work. So, for example, I could be at a show in Cork on a Friday night and then be on a plane on a Saturday morning to Orlando, doing 5 days there, and then come home and land to go to Galway or whatever. So it's unsustainable.
My schedule must be quite like that as well.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. Amy was telling me.
He wishes.
But so it's just a bit unsustainable. But look, I said it might be, and I was very careful to say might because I just wasn't sure. But I am enjoying this show a lot. Yeah. So I think the tour will probably get extended because it's selling out in most of the venues.
Yeah.
There's still tickets left for the Tree Arena, but we're sold out. We sold out all the venues so far, and we're sold out in Waterford. We're sold out in Cork and all these places. But look,
the 7th, we'll go to that.
Saturday, the 7th of February.
Yeah.
Tree Arena.
I heard we're on the guest list, are we?
You are, yes. You definitely are.
Every podcast you go on, you're like, stick them on the guest list.
Yeah. No, you definitely are. You'll be sitting next to Mario.
Yeah, he'd probably be doing impressions of you.
Yeah.
So, see the way we're sitting here?
Yeah.
Can you hear my thoughts?
Well,
I'm afraid you can read my mind sitting here.
You look worried. And you only
I don't want anyone knowing me secrets.
I was about to say, you only need to be worried if you have secrets to hide from Darren.
No.
I don't think so. Well, hopefully.
But here's the thing right now. I need to get people to focus on kind of a specific thought.
Yeah.
So, for example, like let's just try it now. So, Darren, in your head, just look at me and imagine for a second that I'm becoming a different guest, but a celebrity guest, a guest of your choosing, right? Don't say anything, just in your head.
Real
right?
or...
No, a real person, right?
Has to be a real person.
Yeah. So imagine that I'm becoming that person. Now change your mind to another person. And now change your mind back and keep changing your mind back and forth. And look at me. Okay, so I'm sensing, look at me. Just focus on, this person is from the US, I'm going to say. Is that correct? Yeah, I thought so. And just so everybody out there listening, you didn't tell me who it is that you're thinking of. You didn't tell the producer.
No.
And this is your choice right now in this exact moment. Look at me. Focus on this is whether it's a sports star.
You're narrowing it down now.
Yeah, I am. That's my job. Don't give me any clues. Not just focus on whether it's a sports star, a politician, but by you saying you're narrowing it down, that's interesting to me because immediately that tells me it's an actor, specifically an actor, but it's a comedy actor.
Yeah.
Okay? But there's thousands of them. Okay, look at me, focus on who it is. I'm sensing this is old school. Focus on his name. Don't say it out loud, just say it in your mind over and over. Okay, I'm going to write something down. Okay. It was like an echo coming from your mind into mine. Now, here's the interesting thing. You said I narrowed it down. I did narrow it down. But you thought of one person and changed your mind to another person. So in your head, first of all, you were thinking of, you were thinking of Eddie Murphy.
Oh my God.
Is that correct?
It's mad, yeah.
But before that, you changed from Dermot Morgan.
Stop. Oh my God.
That is insane.
Oh.
Yeah,
How
that's
do you
mad.
do that? See, that's why I think you can hear me thoughts.
But I can.
Can you?
I just have to lie to people and say I can't because I get too scared of me otherwise.
Oh my
But I can.
God.
It's like echoes come from your mind into mine. Think of me like a radio.
Really, like, legit.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm like tuning into your brain in the
What do you
exact
think
moment of time.
What are you thinking about?
I don't think I can continue the podcast after that.
Oh, I can't believe that.
That is
That is
mad.
mad.
Yeah.
That is mad.
This isn't something that can be taught, is it? Is this, like, it's just, you have a gift, is it?
Yeah, but I wasn't born with it though. So it is a learned skill. But the thing is, I suppose I've had a very varied life, if you want to call it that. So I'll give you the like 30-second how I got to be able to do this stuff, right? So started as a magician, but at the age of 5, right? So you know when you
Magic set?
you know when you get a magic set,
Yeah.
But then I got obsessed. So I was doing magic every year up until 14. And then I got a pamphlet on hypnosis. And it's called Practical Hypnotism by E. Wolf. So then I started to do hypnosis. And then my parents made me go to college. They're like, magic's great, you're going to college. So I went to college up in Galway. But when I was studying science, my girlfriend at the time, who was my wife now, she was studying psychology. Then I started to read psychology. Then I started to read about neuro-linguistic programming. And that's my point. It's a whole host of different skill sets that I'm using now and a heightened level of intuition to hack brains. So it's not just any one thing. It's certainly not a gift, but it's something that I've been learning since pretty much I'm 5 and I'm turning 50 this year.
But like,
you know,
a magic trick in a kid's magic set is like so different. Any magic trick is so different than you like literally hacking my brain there.
Yeah.
Saying Eddie Murphy, Dermot Morgan. I feel like that's impossible.
Yeah.
Like that would be like I couldn't do that.
No.
Do you know
Like,
what I
have
mean?
you ever
And
gotten it wrong?
Yeah,
Where you're like,
yeah.
oh God, and does it get awkward? Like,
Oh, well, I'll tell you the most awkward moment of my career. And it was on stage in the Olympia. Oh, no. So I was on stage in Olympia, and this was a year where I was doing a lot of escapes. So I mean, and I would get, so it was my 8 Deadly Sins show. And I would go through all the different sins, and I created an 8th deadly sin for the context of the show. But ultimately, when I was going through the 7 deadly sins, one of them was obviously greed. So I would test people to see how greedy they were. So I'd get 2 audience members up. I'd give them 100 foot of rope, and I would say, tie me as hard as you can, as tight as you can, to a chair with 100 foot of rope. And they would, right? So then they'd really go for all the knots and whatever, right? And then I would say, well, what you didn't know is I'm going to give you €1,000 each if I can't get out of the rope in less time than you tie me up in. So now, let's see how greedy you really are. So I was to encourage them to really tie me up. And then I would say, and I'm going to give you a freebie. You get to wrap my head in cling film so I can't see or breathe either.
It's a lot.
All right. Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah.
And I would do it, and I always did it at the end of every night because it's a real escape. Like, there's no fakery to it. I'm really escaping all this rope and cling film. Anyway, I would do it at the end of every show in the knowledge that it might fail one night. So I knew that the whole audience couldn't last for their money back. Like, imagine if it was a second routine in, you fail, and you don't get out, and you're off the hospital. Everyone's going to come looking for the money back.
Where's me bloody money?
Yeah, but I knew at that stage they would have had well over 2 hours of entertainment. So I had it at the end of every show. Long story short, I was in the Olympia one night, and yeah, I failed. I kicked over in the chair to try and get a bit of slack, and I winded myself when I landed. And I went to inhale, but I inhaled a whole load of cling film and started choking on stage. So so they just, one of the MCD people, Noel, who became a good friend, he hit the shutter. So there's this metal shutter. The metal shutter just started slowly coming down in front of like 1,200 people.
and you were just on the floor.
And I was just on the floor, like puking on it because I was getting sick into the cling film, and I was getting sick back down. And then they were poking holes in the cling film to try and let me breathe. And
But
stuff.
naturally, the audience would probably think it's part of it.
Completely, they all thought it was part of the show.
Yeah.
And then, but the shutter came down, and then just they turned the lights on and everybody left. But the 2 people who were on stage, they came to the stage door in the Olympia, and they're like, where's our €1,000 each?
No,
Because
stop.
we bet him. So they got their €1,000 each. And but that was the one time, back to your question, that was the one time like I failed miserably, like really bad, and fell hard after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's been other times that I failed as well. Like, I remember Morgan Freeman on set of Now You See Me Too.
I love them films.
So I was...
You were a part
Love
of that,
them.
yeah.
So I was the lead consultant on number 1 and number 2.
Jesus.
And I was working with Morgan Freeman, and I was just... it was the first time I'd met him. And he said, I challenge you to read my mind. And in only the way that Morgan Freeman could.
And he said, you said to him, Dermot Morgan. And Eddie Murphy. I was like, how did you know?
Yeah, it was close enough. So but I started by not being able to read him because he could have shut me down.
Yeah.
Right. So I had to kind of play with him a little bit longer. So I was really scared there. Back to your question again, that I was going to fail. I nearly failed. And then all of a sudden, I just saw this image of him fishing when he was 12 or 13, and I saw the guy next to him, it's like in his head, and then I saw Morgan Freeman saying "boo boo, boo boo." So I just literally blurted out to Morgan Freeman, "boo boo," and he jumped up and started running around the set screaming and like going bananas. So his reaction was slightly better than yours, Darren. Just but yeah, he lost his mind basically. So that was like a real special moment. But it came from a moment of almost failing, if you know what I mean. Because
Yeah.
it just kind of came.
So he was like, here.
So in terms of the Now You See Me films, like what was your day to day with that? Like how did that work? Like,
yeah, so on number 1, I was just working with Woody Harrelson. So the first job, the first job I'd have to do is get him up in a bed. So they're all scared of Woody. So it ended up being my job to go to his trailer and bang on the door and open up the door. Come on, get up out of bed. Time for set. But it was to teach him how to act as a mentalist, as a brain hacker, as a hypnotist. But then it went so well, they asked me to go back for number 2. So number 2, I worked from day 0 on the script. So there was no script, and I was working with Ed Solomon, who was the writer. And after a year working with him, and I was writing directly into the script. So I was coming up with all the mentalism and magic pieces that you see in number 2. Like that all kind of came from my brain.
Wow.
And even the 3-card, people will remember there was like a giant 3-card Monty, which is the 3-card trick.
Yeah.
That was all shot in one shot with no camera tricks. So I had them create over London like trapdoors, and we exposed it in the film, but trapdoors, but that was all real. It was all shot in one shot, one continuous take. So I was working with the special effects team on that. And then I was working with like the designers. So I was working on set. I was on set for 3 months in Longcross Studios in London for the whole shoot. And that's where I ended up working with all the cast in number 2. So even Lizzie Kaplan, who makes doves appear, they added in a couple of doves with CGI. I don't think they should have done that, by the way.
Sprayed some pigeons.
Yeah, they did. They sprayed a couple of pigeons.
Did they?
I was actually originally Mr. Pigeon Pants. You can see me in the movie. I have a cameo in the movie. So Lizzie Kaplan's making these doves appear. What's actually happening is it's all ethical, just before the animal rights people go crazy out there.
Wash off.
These animals,
just a little wash off.
No, listen, these animals were more looked after on set than the cast members, right? There was all kinds of animal handlers and wranglers and health people there. But anyway, ultimately, I created 6 pockets in Lizzie Kaplan's jacket where we sat 6 doves, and those 6 doves were on special bird harnesses, which went on 6 invisible threads tied onto one invisible thread out to me on set. So all I had to do was give a gentle pull. All the harnesses would release all the birds out of her jacket.
Yeah.
It looked amazing, but I could only fit 6 birds into her jacket. So when you see it in the film, they added in, I don't know, maybe another 6 or something. They didn't need to do that, but ultimately they did. But anyway, she makes a dove vanish, and she turns to a guy in the audience and goes, "He's in your pants." And the guy goes, "What? He's in your pants?" Most people never realise that's me. Like, I'm in the movie as Mr. Pigeon Pants.
So if we go back and look,
I'll pause it. Yeah, if you pause it, you go, "Oh, there he is." And there's a pigeon coming out of my pants.
I love them films.
We haven't seen that there's a new one out, isn't there? That's
it didn't work on
the new cast.
One. Yeah.
Taken over. But we've watched the first 2 films loads of times.
Loved them.
We'll have to go back and pause.
Yeah, just to have a look. Where's Keith? Where is he?
And I actually had a trailer which said Mr. Pigeon Pants. I had my own trailer, because it was just a bit of a laugh internally. Because
I love that.
To be fair, they treated me like the 5th horseman. Like, I got treated really well by the whole team. Like, it was brilliant,
That's
I'd
class.
say it was great.
And
I'd say it was some experience.
Me and Amy went to Vegas on our honeymoon last year.
Yeah.
And you've played in Vegas. You've done Vegas shows.
Yeah. I headlined in Planet Hollywood for about 6 months. That was amazing. Yeah. Did you go to any magic shows when you were out there? Or any mentalism shows?
I wanted to
Didn't go
see
to
Penn
any
and Teller.
shows.
Oh, yeah, they're great.
Like, that's an iconic thing to do in Vegas, is see Penn and Teller.
Well, the mad thing is, my opening night in Vegas, Penn came to the show. Penn Jillette. So he's the people get confused.
He's
a bigger one. He's the taller one. The one who talks.
The one who talks.
So Penn came to my show. So that was kind of a big moment in my career. I was like, this is deadly. Penn Jillette's coming to my show in Vegas.
Definitely.
So I headlined at Planet Hollywood. But I knew. So our daughter was just born, and then 4 weeks later, I got the deal of lifetime to go to Vegas.
Wow.
So I had to turn to the wife and go, I'm going to Vegas.
Is that all right?
I'll see you in a couple of months.
Oh, right? God, she's left with the knife.
So I flew out, and so like it was kind of surreal at the time. And then I was out there 3 or 4 days. I was like, this place it's great for a holiday. I love Vegas.
I love it.
But not living there. So I was like, it's kind of soulless if you're living there. So I rang Mairead and I was like, listen, I'm going to fly you out. Bring Brianna, our daughter. So bring Brianna. I'll fly my mum to help you. So I flew the three of them out, got them picked up in a limo from the airport. I did it proper, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Limo. But then the reality kicked in that night when Mairead...
No money left.
No, it wasn't that. It was like after I was down, I was working, the show was over at whatever it was, 11 o'clock. And I was going to go out for a drink, and I get a call from Ray going, I've got mastitis, get cabbage, will you? So I was like, she got mastitis, need to go out and buy a cabbage. So she put it on her boobs. You know, and I was like, okay, this is reality.
That is a thing, yeah.
But it kept me straight in Vegas. It was great. It was the best thing I ever did. Out there,
we're going back to Vegas in May.
I love Vegas. It's amazing. Now, we didn't go to any shows the last time. We wanted to, but
there wasn't
I think you have to pre-book everything.
And the fair cost like $1,000 to look at a nature show. I'm like, not paying that.
Like I can tell you the shows to go to. Colin Cloud is great. The best show for my money's worth is the original Cirque du Soleil show, Mystere.
Seeing that loads everywhere. Yeah.
Did you see Mystere? That's the original one. I think it's better than more modern ones. And then if you want, it depends on what your sense of humour is like. But if you want the most irreverent show in Vegas, Absinthe is the best show.
It's very good, isn't it?
It's the best.
Yeah.
But like, you won't want to have any airs or graces about you. Like, you think of but not even you, anybody listening, think I'll go to see Absinthe. Like, you're going to hear every offensive word, and I mean fully offensive word, in the first 5 minutes in that show.
But it's brilliant.
So and they say, if you got offended, just get out now.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So they're my recommendations. Colin Cloud's a friend of mine, so he's good. And then Absinthe and Mystere, they'd be my three now.
I love Vegas.
Like, have you ever seen a magic trick and like you just don't know how they did it?
Yeah.
I can remember the exact last time that was. It hasn't happened to me hardly ever in 30, 40 years, because once you learn a certain amount, you kind of know how everything is done. Really.
Yeah.
It spoils the surprise from that perspective. But I do remember the last time I was fooled. I felt like a kid again. I was at a magic convention in Vegas, actually. So these magic conventions actually exist. The biggest one in Europe happens in Blackpool every year, of all places. Like 3,000 magicians and mentalists and hypnotists go to Blackpool every year. So ultimately, anyway, I was at this convention in Vegas, and I was sitting in the audience. And this guy, Chad Long, he goes up to a wall and he just bangs on the wall and he rubs the walls. We all knew the wall was normal. And we were in a hotel anyway, so it couldn't be fakeable. And then he pulls up a sleeve and he spreads his fingers and he just started plucking playing cards out of the wall, but it looked like they were coming out of a pass machine, like money out of but they kept
like
coming.
An ATM?
Yeah, like an ATM. But they kept coming out of the wall. And they weren't bent coming out. They were coming out straight out of the wall. And then he stopped doing it and he rubbed his fingers on the wall. And then he had somebody come up and examine the wall. And David Blaine was in the audience. And I turned to Blaine, because I know him, and I just shrugged my shoulders as in, I don't know what's going on here. And he shrugged back at me. He was like, I don't know either. So if we're fooled, like, it's a good trick. So that was kind of, for me, it was really brilliant, because just that childlike kind of sense of wonder came back for me again.
And you still don't know to this day?
I know, and I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Especially since I know so much already. The last thing I want is to want to know. Do you know? I don't want to know. You know?
Oh, I'd say it's real interesting though, like learning them things, like learning your tricks and stuff like that. I'd say I like.
I'm a voracious researcher.
You love it. Yeah.
I just have books and books and books and books and books. Like, all the kind of up and coming guys, they say, what's the secret to your success? And they're expecting me to give them some like crazy Instagram algorithm or something. Do you know what I mean?
I know.
I'm like, go read some books. And they're like, they roll their eyeballs at me. And I'm like, okay, well, go just
literally.
Well, here's the thing: you're never going to have longevity. You have to learn the history. You have to put in the graft, and then you've got to perform like every day, everywhere, not just to a camera. And that's the problem now. Everybody thinks they can just be famous on a camera. Well, especially with magic or mentalism as an art or as a craft, you got to get out. You got to be willing to fail. As
and
well.
like there is a lot of like magicians and stuff like that. mentalists, if you want to say, but they're not like, it's on social media like TikTok where they're like, I can guess what you're thinking, and it's just
did
like,
you guess it?
yeah, but it's like an algorithm thing, as you said. It's like the first thing you're going to think of is always that thing if they say this stuff. Do you know that way? I don't know. It's weird, but like
a number.
It's so different than like you just doing that to a live audience and stuff, like, you know.
Well, that's why I love being live. So, like, for example, in the 3 Arena, like, I'll show you a picture off air. I was in Cork, and I had about 150 people on the stage in Cork. Like, that's mental. And these are people, so these are the people who are listening now. They could be you, whatever.
Yeah.
I just invite people up on the stage. So I get a mixture of skeptics, believers, non-believers, the whole shooting gallery. And what I love about that is in the 3 Arena, magnify that. Like, I'll probably have 300 people on the stage, right? And I hypnotize them, I hack their brains, and like, that's going to be the biggest show of my career. What's great about it, though, is like that, nothing's set up in advance. I don't know who these people are. I say, if you're a skeptic, come up. If you're a believer, come up. I don't care who you are. I don't care what age you are once you're over 18, because you have to be over 18 to come up on stage. But other than that, let's go. But what's great about that is it's exciting for me, because you have different minds, different people. You have people of different demographics, and that's what makes every show different as well. Because one moment in time I could have like literally like an 82-year-old person on stage, maybe at one show for one routine, but then the next week for the same routine I might have a 19-year-old on stage. So, and that makes for 2 completely different interactions, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Did you ever have anyone at a show, like a skeptic, if you want to say that, like really tried to challenge it and it was getting a bit...
Yeah, like I get them all the time.
Yeah.
But I just, this sounds terrible, like I just, in my head, I go into samurai mode. That's what I call it. I just take out my sword and chop their head off straight away. I don't give like, honestly, like, I'm not like a comedian where I do the back and forth thing. I just take out a samurai and just chop their head off.
Like a heckler, like, would you?
Yeah, but like,
I know how you did that.
Yeah, but I just destroy the hecklers fast. So I'll hack their brain. I'll reveal
like
something
the
really,
Jimmy Carr of magic.
Yeah, but I'll hack their brain, reveal something really embarrassing about them that we all now know to be true, and then they sit down, and then that's the end of it.
Because people forget you can read their mind.
Well, this is it, but I can. Like, I
know, I believe
you,
you.
Eddie Murphy.
I definitely believe you. Like,
Dermot Moore. But the other way to do it is, I find, rather than giving them too much energy, if somebody's being really disruptive, for example, at a show, I'll just turn the audience on them. If you imagine you're at a show, it doesn't matter how hard you are, right? If you're one person, and for example, in the 3 Arena, there'll probably be about 5,000 people.
Yeah. So
4,990 people turn on you. It doesn't matter who you are. You're just going to shrink back into your seat. Like, I had a guy at a private event recently who was just being disruptive in an audience, and I shut him down. And but I had to be careful and mindful, because I didn't know who he was. And this is like a 50th birthday party I was performing at. And I don't do many of those private events, right? But I didn't know who he was, so I couldn't completely samurai him, because I don't know if he's like the person's brother, or I don't know who he is. So I dealt with him. It was fine. But afterwards he came up and he was like, oh, do you meet many people like me who are skeptics and you're just trying to be a jackass in the show? But I wanted to kind of belittle him without belittling him, because he was just being a bit of an arsehole. So I just looked at him and went, no, you're a very special case. I very rarely meet arseholes like you. So that, he just shrunk in front of me. Like, he just shrunk all the way down in front of me. And then I just walked off, but I loved it. I just laughing my head off, because he just,
the way to do it.
He was so embarrassed, like, you know what I mean?
You have to do it, don't you?
I'm playing Vicar Street on the 12th, and I'm going to bring a samurai sword with me.
Yeah, just samurai their heads off.
Yeah, I'm just going to bring a samurai
sword. I literally go into samurai mode.
Yeah.
That's class.
Did you ever hypnotise someone? Well, try it and it didn't work on them?
Oh, yeah, loads of times.
Really?
Yeah, like hypnosis. A lot of people wonder, can I be hypnotised? Can I not be hypnotised? The truth is, everyone can be hypnotised. So that's the first thing, right? However, on different days, different people have different levels of suggestibility. So, for example, if you got a good night's sleep last night, right?
Yeah.
You might be very hypnotisable today. However, if you get a bad night's sleep tonight, you're up, if you've got kids or whatever, you know, or you're been out in the booze, and you might not be hypnotisable tomorrow at all. Right? So it differs for different people on different days. So very often when people come to me, oh, I tried hypnosis for smoking and tried to stop smoking and it didn't work. No, it wasn't hypnosis that didn't work. It was A, the hypnotist, and B, whatever mindset you were in on the day. You know, it's easier to hypnotise people when they want to be hypnotised. That's a true statement. But I can hypnotise and have hypnotised people in the past,
Do you know, like, when
without their permission.
Oh, have you?
So they don't even know. They're hypnotised. Like.
Oh, I'm afraid. I'm actually afraid.
Could you hypnotise us now without us even knowing we're just talking on a podcast? And then next while I'm thinking I'm Ronaldo doing a sue and stuff like that.
Yeah. So if you type into YouTube Black Ops Hypnosis, right? Keith Barry, Black Ops Hypnosis, you'll find a TV show that aired in the States that never got aired here. They never aired it, right? And that's my whole experimentation, if you like, into instant induction hypnosis without somebody's permission or knowledge, and getting them to do things against their morals and their values. So in that one, I created a sleeper agent. So the sleeper agent is basically turning somebody into an assassin, so that they actually would murder somebody without their knowledge. Now, obviously, we didn't murder anybody for it, right? But ultimately, but this was based on MK Ultra. MK Ultra was a real experiment. Yeah, so MK Ultra, for anybody listening who doesn't know, is where the US government were actually using LSD first of all. So they're using psychedelics first, and then using brain hackers and hypnotists like me to hypnotize people to get them to, in essence, be assassins without their knowledge or permission, and then erasing that memory from their head.
And we won't get into the conspiracies of it all.
But there is no conspiracy, because that's what my TV show is about. Like, I'm telling you,
I have to watch that.
No, the MK Ultra thing in general, like there's like so much around.
Well, loads of people claim that I was in part of MK Ultra, and that's why I assassinated the person. But the problem is, if you claim that, then anyone can claim it. So you're right. There's loads of conspiracy theories. The one thing that's not a conspiracy is the US government, the CIA, came out and said, "Sorry, that was a real experiment. We spent a couple of $1 million on actually doing this, and we shouldn't have done it because it was immoral and illegal. We're officially shutting it down. Thanks." Yeah. But from my experimentation, it works. So if it works, would you really shut it down? I wouldn't shut it down. I'd make sure that I keep doing it. So in my mind, for sure, MK Ultra in some guys still exists over there. And if they're doing it, you can only imagine what the Russians and the Chinese are doing with it. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I know I can hypnotize somebody to make them into a sleeper agent. I did it in my Discovery show. Like, that, you can look at it online.
I'm going to watch that.
Yeah. Like, here's the thing. Like, you see, I test people. So, for example, in the live show, right? Like this, I do an experiment based around MK Ultra. So I take two people up on the stage and I strip them of their identities, and I take control of their mind, their body, and the soul on stage every night. As a matter of fact, like, you can look at it up on YouTube. So I've got or up on my Instagram page. Just recently, I posted that routine, part of that routine up there. So you'll see it when two people are wearing masks, right? That's part of me. But they're random people from the audience that I take up, and within 4 minutes, I've got them completely stripped of their identity, and they feel what I want them to feel. They think what I want them to think. They do what I want them to do, right? So I even experiment with that in the live show, right? But as a precursor to this, to make sure it happens and works every night, I give the audience what I call suggestibility tests, right? You don't always have to do this with people, but it just gives me an indication of who's susceptible on any given night, right? So I'm looking for those people fast up on stage.
Is this something they do? Like what?
Yeah, you can do it now. So, like, put out your hands like this. Put out your hands like this, both of you. Interlock your fingers. Squeeze tight, 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 tight. Okay, now extend your first two fingers like this, so there's about an inch gap between them. So, about an inch gap. Now stare at that gap. Don't look at me. Squeeze tight, and imagine there's magnets on your fingertips, moving your fingers closer and closer and closer together. That gap now getting smaller.
That is so weird.
And smaller and smaller. The magnet's getting stronger now, and stronger and stronger. As the gap gets smaller, the magnets get even stronger.
It's just closing
until they eventually touch. I'll give you another 3 seconds, 2, 1. Separate your hands and give them a shake. So that's first test. What does it take? 30 seconds. Now here's what will happen on any given night. There'll be about 40% of the audience, they'll just sit there like this. They'll go, "Nope, he's not getting me tonight, not moving my fingers." Then some of them will start moving like this. They're Jesus. And then, like you, Amy, some people are like, "Oh my God, this is fascinating. My fingers are moving." Because it is just suggestion. I'm just suggesting.
Yeah, I get that.
But now it gives me an indication of, to loop it back to it, I don't want to pick somebody to come up on the stage.
It was like, "I'm not doing that."
Well, like that, my fingers to have an entertaining show. That's
my fingers aren't magnets.
Exactly. But then you will get skeptics whose fingers are moving. That's what I love, because you'll get like a hard jock with tattoos on his face, big beefy guys going, "Oh, fucking Jesus, what's he doing to me? Oh my God, my fingers are moving." And they're the people I want up on stage. So I don't want people who are too into it, and I don't want people who are resisting too much.
I suppose you can get people who really want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And they're like going in, they're like, "Whatever happens, I'm a part of it."
Yeah, but they're normally a disaster on stage. So anybody who wants to come up on stage, when I see somebody jumping up and they go, "Pick me, pick me, pick me," I immediately look the other way, because the amount of times I've made that mistake.
It's more someone with their arms folded and...
But it's kind of in between, right? Somebody just open, interested.
Yeah.
But I also want expressive. Like, at the end of the day, this is an entertainment show. My job is to transform people into a world where anything and everything can happen, and to forget about their everyday problems. Forget about like sickness, illness, forget about Donald Trump, forget about what's going on, right? So I need to make sure that I pick the right people, but also expressive people on the stage, people that we get to laugh at, laugh with, and have fun with. Do you know what I mean?
I seen one before where there's someone going around tapping their head, and then they're basically, the minute they tap their head, they're just doing that one thing that they whispered in their ear or something like that, and then they're just like a cat or something. Do you know that way?
Yeah, so I've done loads of that stuff in the past, and I do a small amount of that style of stuff in like the Unhinged show. So for example, that's where I get a couple of hundred people up on the stage. So I do what's called a locked arm experiment. So I get people to put out their arm like this, and I make them believe that there's a stainless steel bar going down through their arm, so their arm becomes unbendable. They can't bend their own arm. And then I transfer that up into their throat, so then they can't talk. So then you got people on stage, you got like 100 people on stage, or a mixture of skeptics, believers, non-believers, whatever. And then all of a sudden they're like, and everybody knows then it's real, because the reason they know it's real is because it could be your wife, your brother, your mother up on stage. You're sitting there going, what is going on right now? Do you know what I mean? That's what excites me about it, you know?
That's
oh my
mad.
God.
Before we go, is there any other tricks you can do on us?
Well, so here's an interesting thing, right? Rather than
that's such a... Is there any other tricks?
Well,
do a trick on me.
Well, here's an interesting quick thing, right? So, I think I have, So I've got a deck of cards here, but I want you to know this is not a trick. It's not a trick, right?
Yeah.
So, in a moment, the two of you are going to formulate a playing card inside your head, right? But not yet. I want you to know two things, first of all. One is that big black X, that's important. Okay, there's black X on the deck. And the second thing is, I'm going to tell you, I shouldn't tell you this, but I'm going to tell you, I committed to one card. So there's one card reversed. It's upside down. It's going the wrong way. Both of you, your job is to try and mess this up. Like, try and be the skeptic. Let's do it. Like, try and be skeptical about it.
So
right?
Try to, like, purposely avoid that card that you have.
Yeah, exactly. So for example, most people out there, if I was asked them to think of a card, most people think of either the Queen of Hearts or the Ace of Spades. They're the two most common cards. So now that I've said that, though, what you have to think is, well, am I trying to guide you to not think of those or to think of those, right? But here's the idea. Look at me. The Red Robin never dies. That's it. I've influenced you already. The Red Robin never dies. Done. It's in your head now. But the two of you can discuss what playing card you're going to select. But remember, the Red Robin never dies.
Can we type on our phone?
No, you're going to name it out loud in a moment. So you don't even say it. You're going to name it out loud. But it's reversed anyway. It's already done.
So I don't think it's the Ace of Spades.
No. I have one in my head, but...
Well, say it out loud,
I think
and you can discuss it.
3 of Hearts.
I have the 7 of Hearts.
So now you're between the 3 and the 7. So now you can go for the 3 or the 7, or you could go for one in the middle, which would be the 5. But then I might be guiding you, and people might say, well, he's guided. So, or you can just change completely to a club or a spade or a diamond. You do whatever you feel is right. But once you lock it in, you lock it in.
7
you don't
hearts.
want a divorce. What he's saying 7 hearts, but that means you're overruling her.
No,
What do you want?
I go 3 of Hearts, because 7 is a real number that everybody kind of picks.
Okay, wait. So 3 hearts.
7 is like a lucky number for a lot, isn't it?
So 3 of Hearts, 7?
Yeah.
What you going for?
3 of Hearts.
I want to go for 7.
Right, we'll go with 7.
Well, it'd be good if it was either one, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so...
Right,
Do you want to go for 3?
No, we go with 7.
Okay, we go with 7.
7, sure, final answer?
7 Hearts, yeah.
Okay, look, I'll do this slowly, right? But I want your audience to know that when I do this, okay, that...
You've just literally whipped them out and...
Yeah.
There's nothing pre...
No, but more importantly, I destroyed a deck of cards for this experience. That's what the black X is for.
Yeah.
So you know in your heart then that there's no sleight of hand involved, right? So is it the 3 or the 7 you're going for?
7.
Okay, the 7.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
look,
yeah.
I'm going to do this slowly. You can see I put a big black X through the Queen Hearts.
Yeah.
Because I knew you wouldn't choose the Queen Hearts. I'm going to go slow, like so slow that you know there's no trick involved, right? But I want you to know I put a big black X through every single card. You can see a big black X go the whole way. Now, there's one card reversed there, but I want you to know what I didn't tell you, I actually reversed 2 cards, right? I'm going to go super slow. You can see there's one card reversed. There's a big black X.
And a tray on. Couldn't be.
Okay. And there's a second card. There's 2 cards reversed. There's a big black X through every other card. You can see there's an X through them, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Take out that one first and flip it over. I don't want to touch it. What is it?
3 Hearts.
Oh my God.
And take out the second one. The Red Robin never dies.
Oh, no way. That's
That
wild.
is
That is
mental,
wild.
like.
And I destroyed
Honestly,
like a full deck. Big black X.
They don't feel
every
real.
single one has a big black X.
They don't
There's
feel
something
real.
going on with these.
Big
That
black
is
X through every other
crazy.
deck.
That's insane.
God.
But if I had said the Ace of Spades,
you
No,
had-
I was set
you had
dead
no
set on that
choice.
3 of hearts in my
You're
head.
biologically compelled
really?
to say those 2 cards. Yeah, you had no choice.
But I
Red
wanted
Robin
the,
ne- the Red
part
Robin
of
never
me was
dies.
just like,
That is bizarre.
No, but some
yeah,
people
but
out there
I
who
don't
are,
even get that reference though.
no, but see, some people out there who are good at puzzles, escape rooms, and all the rest of it, they'll understand the Red Robin never dies. They'll understand that.
Yeah, but I don't. I didn't even understand
but
that.
you're not supposed to.
Am I not?
Oh my God, I
But
can't
like-
believe that. How did
I could have easily said the like
No, but you
king,
couldn't.
or I could have.
No, you couldn't have.
I couldn't have. No,
You didn't though.
I had full control.
I feel like I could have though.
Did you? Are you listening to my thoughts? I think
Free
yeah.
will is not an option.
Really?
No.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Do you have another deck?
No.
And we do
No.
it again with.
No, I only destroyed one deck. There's just those 2 cards. There isn't another
mad.
deck.
That's mad. that is mad.
That is wild. That is wild. Like
I want to headline a magic show in Vegas now.
Get learning.
yeah.
Buy Paul Daniels' magic set online. I'm sure you can get them second hand on Amazon.
Oh.
The little one with
I'd
the
say it's a fun career though.
plastic wand.
Yeah, it's
That's
great.
mad.
Look, I
It's
love it.
fun,
I love
yeah,
it.
yeah.
But like, again, look, I think for me,
You
it is about that moment
yeah.
of no, but it's but for me, look, the only place that people see the real version of me is on a podcast, but like when you're on radio or you're on doing your own TV show, like I've done hundreds of hours of my own television, but you're never seeing the real version of me because a producer has an opinion, a director has an opinion, everybody has an opinion, right? Even down to the extent on my Discovery Channel show, they made me dye my hair, lose 2 stone in weight. I was actually quite beefed up, but in a good way. Like I was full of muscle when I went down to the States for my Discovery Channel show, and they looked at me and they went, you're too heavy for Discovery Channel. I was like,
Oh.
what do you mean? I said, it's muscle, I'm lean. And they're like, because I knew at the time I was doing a lot of weights. I was actually in Body Burn, which is right around the corner. Brilliant trainers. And Paul Byrne got me down to like 14% body fat before I went out there.
Jesus.
And they're like, we don't care if it's muscle, you need to lose 2 stones. So they got me a different trainer out there and starved me and got me on a treadmill and then made me go and get my hair dyed dark brown. So my point is, every other vision or version of me that you see is altered by somebody else. So where I get to do what I want to do is live, because I'm the producer, the director.
That's your thing.
I've written the show, and the good news is, like, if it fails, I'm happy to take a
Yeah.
hit. Do you know what I mean? Like, meaning if people don't like it, that's on me. It's not on anybody else. I can't point fingers then. But look, so far so good. Every night we've had standing O's and packed houses, so I'm really
Brilliant.
excited. And the 3 Arena will be the biggest
Probably
show
Are
not.
you
I've ever done.
nervous for it? Like, because it's such a big venue. Oh,
Do you know,
are
I've got
Have you
two.
played 3 Arena before?
No, that'll be
you
the biggest show
haven't?
I've ever
First
done.
time, yeah.
But not yet. I will be on the night, so I don't get
Yeah.
nervous in advance anymore. I think that's just the busyness of life. Though. I
Yeah.
have too much on between now and then.
sit and think.
But on the night, yeah, for sure. Like I'm not stupid enough to say I wouldn't.
Yeah,
be. Like,
yeah.
I'll be backstage and I'll get the nerves.
be like, oh,
and,
God.
You know.
Oh, no,
And there,
it'd be brilliant.
it's hard to peek out from
Oh,
backstage there and look at 3, 4, 5,000 people. Like, you know what I mean?
In Vicar Street, someone like spots you when you're just at
Well,
the
that's
end of the
it.
steps.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, the jig is up.
that'd be brilliant now.
Oh,
I'm
seeing
looking
them.
forward to it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
class. And it's Saturday, 7th of February. Tickets are still there.
Yeah, still a few
Yeah.
tickets left, so just up on
Ticketmaster.
ticketmaster.ie,
Yeah.
usual spot, you know.
Oh,
And if you
So
want, you can get some to see Stall it as well on the 12th. While you're at it. So you can get 2 sets of tickets.
Exactly, yeah. Double up.
Class. Thanks for coming in.
No, thanks for having me.
Appreciate you. We'll look at that YouTube video now of you.
Oh no, I
Oh, yeah.
will be. I'll be
Black
going
Ops
home now
hypnosis.
watching that. Yeah,
Black Ops Hypnosis.
Yeah.
Class.
telling you. That is so exciting. And best of luck on your show and everything. It's going
Yeah,
to be
thanks
brilliant.
so much.
It'll be brilliant.
No listener questions.
And you'll be both great
No.
on stage.
I'm telling you.
It's actually
you
not
can
even
call
us.
me
It's
up.
a different podcast I do too in here.
Oh, I thought you meant on your show.
No, not my show. In the
Yeah, I'll come
Free
up.
Arena.
Going on stage,
I'm going to
aren't
be pulling you up on stage.
Oh, I will.
You won't.
Oh, I will.
Will
I
you?
will.
Yeah, why wouldn't I?
Because we're
be a foursome.
receptive.
Oh my God.
Because we're receptive.
yeah.
Okay.
I've already given you a test. You proved.
What if this?
Red
what if
Robins
this whole
never
round
die.
just like is a simulation, and we're actually on the stage of 3
Oh my
Arena,
God,
and we didn't even know?
stop that.
Well, no, here's the mad thing. You're not here right now. You're at home in bed dreaming this. This is not real right now. I hypnotised you yesterday. You're still in bed.
When can I
today.
wake? Can I wake up now?
Today is tomorrow and yesterday is today. And the Red Robins never die.
No, I'll probably have an existential crisis later on.
Yeah, if you could say Keith Barry's in my head, Amy.
And, and after the 3 Arena, when you see the seance with my father, he's going to crawl into bed
Oh,
with Julie
God.
that night.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
God,
that's all right.
mental, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'd love a job like that, but I would think I'd be afraid. Like, how do you relax?
Fishing.
But do you
Amy,
ever...
the podcast is
No, but
over.
like, you do, does your mind...
Only let her
Like,
let her
does your
go on.
mind like constantly just go?
No,
Or is
fishing.
it-
I turn it off. I go fishing.
Go
Fishing
fishing.
in your mind.
Yeah, you need to say shit and go shit.
Yeah, I did.
Go big shy.
No, I go fishing.
How do you do that fishing? Just like pretend you're
Sit
fishing.
there in the bank of a river for 4 hours and thinking nothing. Just
Yeah.
where's the fish? So that's my form of meditation and get away.
Chilling out.
Yeah.
Mine would be watching Man United.
Mine is
They're shy.
I don't watch
None.
soccer anymore. I used to when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Not anymore. Fishing.
Just imagine.
Well, I'll be watching your show now when I go home tonight, won't we?
We will. We already said that.
I love it.
Yeah. Well, Jai Vegas, yeah.
Nice one. Thank you.
Thanks.
Subscribe to this podcast for free on the GoLoud app.